Hello, back again, and today I'm going to be working with Traci Reed's On The Go and Going Slow collection.
And I thought I'd just do a quick video. It's not going to be hopefully very long, but I want to do a spread in my traveller's notebook, which I just created today, just 5 sheets of plain white paper and some pattern card which I had. I've got a 4-page photo, so that's going to take up one side. I've got one of the traveller's notebook signatures, which is going to be on the other side. I've printed off a few of the 3x4 cards. A couple of them have got, well, that one's got words on, that one's got space for journaling. Possibly won't use them. I didn't know whether I'd use that as my title. A couple of the wood grain cards, because I thought I might cut shapes out of those. This little tag, again, might not use that. I liked this, and I had thought about fussy cutting around that and using that on the page. I have to wait and see. And then I've printed out the embellishments from the sticker pack that I wanted to use, and also these word strips are from the digital collection. Silhouettes cut them a little bit strangely, but they will do. Some of the flowers, when I've cut them, when I've done the print and cut, I have, let's see if I can find it, flipped them horizontally, so you get them facing each way, both ways, depending on how I want to put them on the page. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video for a minute now, get myself ready, find my glue and whatever else I need, and then I'll put you on fast forward whilst I create this.
So, I said I hope this video wasn't going to be very long. Well, it's not too long, but boy, I struggled with this. First of all, I got my photo, stuck it down into the traveller's notebook, being very careful to match up the edges, but I should have done it from the inside seam out, because I made it the photo is slightly too wide. So then I tried pulling it off and it tore the paper, so I had to leave it half stuck on and just sort of guess at where I needed to cut it down, trim it down, and then, excuse me, sorry about that, and then stick it down. There's a slight gap there, but it worked, so I went with it. Then I grabbed the traveller's notebook signature, and having learned my lesson, I stuck that down from the middle, and it overhung very slightly, not as badly actually. I could almost have let it go, but I just trimmed down the side just to make that look neat. So having done that, I've got my basic spread there, and this is where it should not have taken me very long to do it. I decided to pick some of these word strips to stack on the bottom left hand corner of the page, where there was basically some dead space there. So I chose the words "slow down and enjoy the moment" right at the very bottom. First coffee, then we do the thing. That's the one in black. Today's a good day to stay in my shell. Power saving mode. Taking the day off and taking my time. And I really liked how those looked all stacked up in the side of that page. I did trim some of them down where they had fishtails on, just to give them a straight edge against the edge of the page, apart from the taking the day off one, which is peachy coloured one, because that was in a slopey type of banner. I decided to keep that one as it was. And then I tucked the taking my time, it was like a tab, so I just tucked that underneath the taking the day off, so that it showed the green scalloped edge that was on that, so that tied in with the green over on the right hand side on the traveller's notebook signature. So having done that, I went over onto the right hand side, and I thought I wanted to make a cluster up in the top right hand corner. This is where it all starts to take me ages, because I started building this cluster up here and used a couple of the hexagons and the title block, which says "today I will do absolutely nothing," which I really liked and wanted to use, and built the flowers around it. Didn't like it, so I thought, right, I'll use the 3x4 card and build my cluster, or whatever I want to build around that. Popped the hexagons on that because I was determined to use the hexagons, and put the hearts on and move things around, and didn't really like that. So I thought, okay, let's fussy cut these frames out from the 6x4 card. Did that, and they were too long, so fussy cut them down even further to 2 frames and started popping the flowers around them. And guess what? I didn't like that either. So I grabbed this card, which has got like ledger paper on it and a flower, and thought perhaps I could use that to put the title on, but didn't like that. So grabbed back in the frames, put the ledger card on top of that, still didn't like it, but then I had my epiphany and tucked it underneath, which just balanced the frame nicely, whereas before the frame that had been on there was made it too wide. The title went nicely in the middle of those frames, and then I was just able to build my clusters around the frame and, well, I don't know what you want to call that, bit with the washi tape on the middle. So I was really pleased with how this then all came together. Trimmed down one of the flowers that's got the yellow on it to tie in with the yellow flowers at the bottom. I've got it in my hand here so I can see it better whilst I'm recording this voiceover. And then I also printed out some of the tiny yellow flowers to use, well, made them smaller, sized them down to use as scattering pieces. So here we are, I've stuck everything down, apart from the title, which I managed to drop onto the piece of paper and tear it. So I then had to move my title over to the left slightly, which did throw off my composition a bit. And I then had to fiddle around again, trying to get this to look right and make it look even. I tried a little flower cluster in there, but it didn't work. So I grabbed the tiny flowers and started dotting them around in other places just while I was thinking what to do, just using them as sort of scattering pieces. So I put one up at the top there, and I put one on top of the hearts, and I also put one over on the left hand side on top of the word pieces, one just on that little cluster there. So I'm still wondering what to do to fill in that gap to make the composition look better. So I grabbed the little yellow flowers again and managed to put them in such a way that actually I got it to balance, and I was finally happy with it. So here I am just putting, I then grabbed two more hearts so I could have some hearts over on the left hand side, and got them and managed to tuck them in above the tab that says taking my time. So that then just pulled some more of those colours from the right hand side over onto the left hand side, and I liked how that looked. So this is a photo of me in my arbour in my back garden, which I can sit in summer and winter. It's really well protected from the wind, so if it's a sunny winter's day like it is in this photo, I take my cup of coffee out there and I can sit down and relax and enjoy the peace and quiet of the garden, get some vitamin D and just enjoy nature, which I love. And in the summer it's really nice because you actually get protected from the sun. Although the sun comes through, there is always some shade in there, so I use my arbour a lot. It's one of my favourite places in my garden. I then picked up another one of these word pieces that says rest is self-care, which that's what I was doing. It's a bit of self-care there, and stuck it down at the bottom underneath this gorgeous little snail that's at the bottom of the page. So the layout is all done with all the paper pieces stuck down, and just finishing off now with some Nouveau drops, which I dotted around all of the clusters and then decided to put into the centre of each of the flowers, which looks really pretty in real life, I have to say. Having done that, I then thought I need to do my journaling, and realised that I couldn't because I'd smudged the Nouveau drops. So that's this spread just about finished. You can find this collection on the go and going slow on Traci Reed's website, details in the description box below. Thanks for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you don't already do so. I'll be back again very soon with another video. I know I'm not very regular, but I do enjoy doing these, and I hope you enjoy watching. Bye for now.